In this episode, we're going to talk about the buy here, pay here customer, traditionally considered the hardest customer to deal with in the used car industry. We're going to talk about how we found success working with buy here, pay here customers. Stay tuned, a lot to talk about in this episode of Down Payment.
Welcome to Down Payment, the podcast for used car dealers. Prepare to learn something new about the industry that keeps us moving.
Check out all our podcast content on our social media channels. We are at Down Payment Podcast on YouTube, Down Payment Podcast on Instagram, and Down Payment Pod on X. Welcome back. In this episode, we're going to do a buy here, pay here focused episode. But it's going to be an episode that even if you are not in the buy here, pay here segment of the industry, I think you're going to find a lot of value talking about what is traditionally considered the most difficult customer to deal with in the industry. And for this episode, we are going to have a true expert of the buy here, pay here customers, Charles, on to discuss the topic with us. Charles, welcome back.
Glad to be back with you.
So if there is something that you are truly an expert on, it is in working with buy here, pay here customers, because that's what you did working with us and then subsequent to us. And I know
I've been dealing with buy here, pay here customers or people with bad credit for probably 25 years.
Yeah. You are a true expert here. And it's an interesting conversation to have just because there is such a stigma attached to the buy here, pay here segment of the industry. There's such a stigma attached to the customers themselves, but there's a great opportunity there for the dealers that can kind of adopt the empathy, the mindset, the personality that it takes to be successful with this type of customer. To start off with, can you tell us a little bit about who the buy here, pay here customer is?
Sure. The buy here, pay here customer are truly people who have been through a hard time. They've, for whatever the reason, divorce, medical issues, their credit's been messed up. And sometimes it's hard when your credit gets messed up to get back on track. Because once you get behind in all your bills, it affects all your credit. It takes a while to get back on track. And one of the easiest way to repair your credit is to go buy a buy here, pay here car. You have a big enough down payment, you get the car, you pay it off in a couple of years, and it helps reestablish your credit rating. The buy here, pay here customer to me is someone who is truly went through a very difficult time trying to get back on their feet. They're good people. They're good people who are trying to get back. They're good people who need a car, especially in the Denver metro area, who need a car to get around because our light rail, our rapid transit may not be that good in getting you to all areas. Also, you have to take kids to school. You have to do grocery. You have to do all those things, grocery shopping, all those things that you normally do. And it makes life a lot easier. Well, if you have fall upon hard times, you may not be able to go to a premier car dealership and buy a car. So you end up being at a buy here, pay here. Being at a buy here, pay here does not make you the most difficult customer in the world. It makes you very difficult to finance. Very difficult to finance. And I think that's where the challenge comes in. Is your down payment big enough? Is your income worthy of making a payment? And when we tell you we have to have a big enough down payment and we have to select a car that's going to make the payment affordable to you to repair your credit, can you explain that so they understand it?
Absolutely. I mean, there's in this credit segment, there's a ton of great people, and really, as a smaller, medium-sized business, as a buy here, pay here dealership, you're providing a valuable source of financing or credit to the community that really no one else is effectively doing, and that's why they're at your doorstep as a buy here, pay here dealer. And that really is the unique value offering that buy here, pay here contributes to our communities. And that's something to be proud of. And I think the first step there is having respect for your customers.
Having respect for the customer. When they walk through the door, to be treated with respect, not to be treated like you're a buy here, pay here. Your credit sucks. You have a bad job. Life has let you down, and guess what? So are we, because we don't care. That's not what they need. What they need is someone to show them respect. Someone who's going to take time to sit down and talk to them about what the process of buy here, pay here is, about what requirements of buy here, pay here is, and can they meet those? And people are. I call these people sometimes desperate to get a vehicle, but when you start walking them through the process, clarifying clarifying with them, they understand what this process is. If I walk into a Toyota lot, I say, I want this car right here. That's the car they try to sell me. Buy here, pay here may not be that way. The car you want may be a car you can't afford. And you need the salesman or the sales manager or someone to sit down with you, go over your finances and say, here's what you can really afford. I think that's what we did well.
I think that's a real important distinction to understand and really succeed with the buy here, pay here customer. Is the budgeting process is crucial, and it takes on a much, much more in-depth analysis than you have in other segments of automotive financing, where you might have some budgeting to show that this payment is in fact affordable, but you're not providing the level of detail and certainty that you're trying to achieve and make sure that this is a win-win both for the customer and for the dealership.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And to explain to them that, you know what, if you can pay this off in 3 years and you're not late on your payments and you do the things you're supposed to do, your credit rating will go up and you may be able to go back and get the car you really, really want. But right now, we're here to help you get into a vehicle. We're here to help you get your life back together. And I think a lot of people look at buy here, pay here as being a loserville, but it's not. It's for people who are struggled and are struggling, to give them that foot up, to give them that help up. It's the same thing if they get delinquent. If they get delinquent and we're doing buy here, pay here, and we call them, we really need to have some empathy and listen to what they're going through. Because maybe this is a year after they bought the car, things are going well, and things happen again. We need to be really cognizant of the fact that we can help you, but you have to help yourself. But when you win a buy here, pay here customer over, when you make that win with that buy here, pay here customer, they will come back to you again and again and again. They will refer people to you again and again and again, because number one, you treat them with respect. Number two, you listen to what they had to say and what their concerns were. Number three, you explain to them that you may want the Bentley, but right now, you know what? The Taurus is all that you can afford.
Yeah, I talk about how buy here, pay here is a little bit different in this aspect than the entire rest of automotive, because we are truly selling to a need, not a want. All other segments of automotive
Absolutely.
retail, they are truly trying to embrace the want. You're trying to sell to a want, and it's easier to sell to a want than a need. In buy here, pay here, we're selling to a need over a want.
And while you're working through that and you explain that to them, they understand. They understand. But we have to be very honest in the very beginning and say, we need a reasonable down payment. Because the more down you have, maybe you can get closer to what you want. We need to talk about a reasonable payment amount. Are we going to pay bi-weekly, monthly? We're going to pay weekly. What is it going to do to get you in this car and keep you in a very good standing with us? What are we going to do? And I think if you work honestly and show these people respect, they will continue to come back. Even when their credit rating is improved, they will continue to come back because number one, they're being respected. Number two, they're being trusted. And number three, they start knowing everybody at the dealership. They start knowing who people are. And that's the best marketing tool you have. is customers who refer people back to you because number one, the product is, it's a car. But number two, they feel respected. They feel like we're listening to them. They feel like we're going to work with them. They feel like we're doing everything we can to make this a success for them. There are going to be those people who try to get over, who try to try to get the car, but that's where underwriting comes in so quickly. You can look at somebody and you say, you've only been here 2 months, 3 months in the state of Colorado. Your job seems to be temporary, and all your family's in Louisiana. We may want to talk about what's really going on. And without casting aspersions, you have to say, if your job ends tomorrow, what are you going to do? Because we're putting you in a very risky situation. But for the most part, the buy here, pay here customer will be successful, can be successful, and want to be successful.
Absolutely. No, it's a great industry. It actually has a lot of real unique rewards that the rest of the industry misses out on. Working with the buy here, pay here customers is there's awesome work for the right dealer, for the right personality. There's great work to be done. One of the important things is you've got to like your customers. And if you don't like your customers, you are not going to find success in this.
And maybe like you have to respect your customers also. You have to understand where they're coming from and where they're trying to go. That their vision has to be somewhat of your vision. And liking them is critical. Respecting them is critical. Understanding where they're trying to go is even better.
You got to have some empathy for their situation, their condition, or you're just not going to have success in this industry. And they're not going to trust you. You're not going to trust them. And the relationship's not going to be successful.
A lot of these people want to have that one-on-one contact. They want to know who you are, what you're doing. That's why if you have a biweekly payment, they will see you every other Friday. They will come in. They want to shake your hand. They will make their payment on time. And because they want to make sure everything is okay, eyeball to eyeball. Because when you go through challenging times, it really does require challenging measures. So if I can look you in the eyeball and say, you know what, you guys are going to do something for me that's incredible, I'm happy about it. And I'm going to keep coming back. And I'm going to send people to see you. There was one lady at Mark's Auto Sales that referred like 20 people over a period of 15 years that she's done business with Mark's. Just referred people because you know what? We did a good job in caring about our customers, liking our customers, knowing who they were.
Absolutely.
We did a good job in doing that. And I think that's who our customer is. They want to be liked. They want to be respected. They want to know that we're empathetic. And there's a difference between empathy and sympathy. Empathy means I understand what you're going through. However, there are consequences. And having those conversations are just them. The buy here, pay here customer is another customer that will say, I just can't afford it. Can I just bring the car back to you? And maybe in 2 years, can I come back and look at another car once things get better? That is not going to be your typical customer going to a premier dealer financing through a major bank. That's not them. But the buy here, pay here customer says, I respect you enough to know that here's what we can and will do.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, any final or parting thoughts on the topic of buy here, pay here customers for our listeners?
I love the buy here, pay here customers. They're normal, everyday people. They've just been people who are going through challenges and they're looking for a little respect. And that's positive. Just a little respect will give you years worth of business coming back.
That's actually a really great note to end on. Well, Charles, thank you for joining us for this episode. And to our dealers, hope you get something of value talking about the buy here, pay here customers. And with that, we want to see you go sell some cars. Check out our podcast on all our social media channels. We are at Down Payment Podcast on YouTube, Down Payment Podcast on Instagram, and Down Payment Pod on X.
Thank you for listening. Down Payment, the podcast for used car dealers, is a production of Meta Financial Services Incorporated.